What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, February 1st of 2022. Happy Black History Month. What's going on to all you fine folks out there? Elliot here from Movie Files, doing a kind of something different. I've had this segment on the channel since probably the early days where I would highlight all the new releases for the month, movie shows, all that fun stuff, streaming movies and all that good stuff. And I figured, let's switch it up. It's a new year, a segment that I love doing, but I want to try to do it live, trying to interact with you all, talk about these new movies and shows that are coming out this new month, and just kind of get you all's thoughts on it, and kind of obviously share my thoughts with you all live. So something new, my movie and TV bucket list, just in a form of a live stream, because I love interacting with you all, catching up with you all, and just having a good time. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're going over all the new releases coming to theaters, your Netflixes of the world, your Amazons, your HBO Maxes, Disney Plus, as it says right there, Hulu, and all the different streaming services that we have subscribed to and follow and watch and all that stuff. So we're going to be going all that, as well as taking any questions. Q&A style, having a good time, talking about anything you all want to talk about. So I want to maybe do this once a month and test it out tonight, test the waters, and see if you all like this versus the pre-recorded version of these videos that I've done in the past. So yeah, I am excited to be here with you all again. Happy February 1st. Out here in St. Louis, we're expecting a big storm. So I hope you all are safe where you're at, and your families are safe. So we're here to have a good time and talk about some movies and shows with you all. So again, highlighting all the big stuff coming out. We're going to let some more people get into the stream before we get things started. So as far as what I've been up to, while we get some more people in the stream, I watched the first 3 episodes, which we'll talk about. One of the shows we're going to talk about a little bit later is HBO Max's Raised by Wolves. So I watched the first 3 episodes of that today, which I'll be talking about a little bit later and having a review for you all in the coming days. Just recently, yesterday, I watched Pam and Tommy, the first 3 episodes, which I put out my review for that. What else have we been watching? The South Korean zombie show, which I've been a pretty big fan of, put out a review of that the other day as well. All of Us Are Dead, which is on Netflix. So it's been a pretty busy few days. And then tonight, after this stream, I'm going to probably try to watch a new movie that it's an independent film coming out this Friday. So I'm going to try to watch that and review that. And then Peacemaker episode 6, I believe we're on. I'm going to maybe try to watch that tonight and get that ready for you all for Thursday discussions, because I've been really enjoying Peacemaker so far. So I'll watch that tonight. And then for all my Servant fans, I'll probably give that a watch tonight as well. So just planning ahead to get all that great content to you all, because we are so close to that 20,000 mark on this channel. I'm so excited to get to that mark and continue to grow this channel, continue to talk about these movies and shows that we all love, and all that fun stuff that we've been doing. So like I said, I'm going to let some more people. We got 9 people in the stream. Again, I appreciate you all tuning in. Again, this is kind of a last minute thing of a sorts. I've always wanted to kind of do these live, but I just never had the time to kind of sit down. I plan on making this 30 minutes, if not more. If you guys have any questions, obviously we can go a little bit longer, but I plan on maybe implementing this to the channel, because again, if you all have been following this channel for a while, I've had this segment where I highlight all the new movies and shows coming out that month, but they've always been pre-recorded. So I'm trying something new with bringing it to you guys live and seeing how you all like that and interacting with that. So that is the plan, and I'm really excited to be here with you all. So we got some people coming on in. We got Cassandra. What's going on? Good evening, Elliot. Movie Files in chat. What's going on to you? KW, how we doing? Again, I appreciate you all watching live again. It's kind of a last minute thing. Didn't really promote it too much because it was I thought I was going to have to do something for work tonight, but I didn't. So I kind of set up the stream late yesterday. And again, going to test the water, see how this live movie and TV bucket list conversation is going to go tonight. But I'm excited to be here. Neither here nor there. So we're about 6 minutes in. I'll give it a couple more minutes till we get a couple of people in. Let me know, Cassandra, KW, what you all been up to, what movies, what new shows you all have been watching. And of course, once we get down to the breakdown of all the new releases for the month of February, which ones are you most excited for? Which new show or returning show are you all excited to get back into? And all the new movies we got coming out. It's not a huge month. Some movies got delayed and pushed back, but we got some stuff that I'm excited to talk about this month and break down and have interactions with you all. So let me know in the chat what you guys are looking forward to the most once we get to that point of the live stream. So we got Purple Queen. What's going on, Purple Queen? Sugar, it's been a minute. Hope you're doing well. Hey, glad I caught a live. Yeah, I'm glad you're able to catch a live as well and talk some movies and shows with us. And again, any other topics you guys have in mind? Movie news hasn't been too much craziness going on. No new casting news or movie delays or anything. But if you guys have any movie or TV related news that you all want to talk about, let me know. Let me know. But I appreciate you coming in, Purple Queen Sugar. We got my homie Justin from Texas coming in, showing some love. I'm black. I don't know if you meant to say I'm back, or if you're black, I'm black too. Happy Black History Month to you all out there. But good to see you, Justin, showing some love. I always appreciate seeing your name in the comments on videos and all that stuff. So I appreciate you stopping by. So, I'm gonna probably give it another 3 minutes before we actually get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's live stream, which again tonight we're going to be talking about all the new releases coming to theaters, coming to Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, all the streaming services. Talk about my excitement level for these movies and shows and what you all can expect this month as far as coverage goes. And then, of course, if you guys have any questions for me, definitely drop them in the chat. Let's see what Justin's saying here before we get things going. I've been trying to avoid spoilers in the scene from the Batman. It's hard, Justin. It is hard. I'm wearing this isn't the Batman stuff, but this is Batman Dark Knight Rises as far as that film that came out in 2012. It's been 2012. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Batman's my homie, Justin. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know how much I love me some DC and Batman. That's my guy. So it's kind of hard, man, because I've been getting really excited about this film with Matt Reeves, and I've seen the scene, Justin. I won't talk about it here. I've seen it. It looks good. It looks great, if I'm being honest with you. Very intriguing. I'm loving these riddles so far that we're getting with the Riddler and Paul Dano. I think he's going to kill the role. But yeah, man, it's tough. We got a month to go before we can see the film. I'm hoping I can see it a little bit, maybe a little bit earlier, but neither here nor there. March 4th, I'm going to be in line with all my Batman fans watching this new movie. So I'm really excited. But yeah, keep an eye out for the spoilers out there. There's been quite a few in the coming months with particular characters that may be in the film and who's been cast in certain roles and how things are going to play out. I mean, I have my theories on who the big what we're going to be leading to in the night the Court of Owls and all that stuff, but I'm really excited for it, man. But yeah, keep an eye out for those spoilers, my friend. We got Ali CFC. Let's get into this. I appreciate you, Ali. Yeah, we're going to get into this here in a little bit. We got Adam in the building. What's going on? He's okay, man. Yeah, that's what I figured. But again, happy Black History Month to everyone out there. Let's see, KW. I'm most looking forward to Drive My Car, which is coming out this Friday. I'm working my way through the award movies right now. Going to check out King Richard, Tammy Faye soon too. Yeah, so Drive My Car. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about it. I haven't got my hand on a screener link or anything yet, but I am hearing that it's fantastic. It premiered at the film festivals last year, I believe. I don't think it was during Sundance this year, but I've heard great things about it. So you're going to hit me up, KW. Let me know what you thought about it if you get a chance to check it out this Friday. The other movie you mentioned, King Richard. If you all saw my top 10 movies of last year, King Richard was undoubtedly high on my list. I love that film. So if you haven't seen my list, go check out that video. And Tammy Faye, I didn't get a chance to see that, but I've heard it was kind of mixed reviews. But Jessica Chastain and Andrew Garfield are two of my favorite actors. So I haven't seen it, but I plan on watching it. But let me know what you thought of it once you've seen it. But we got 16 people in the chat. Again, I appreciate you all tuning in tonight. Tonight's live stream is going over all the new releases for theaters, streaming services for the month of February, which again is a great month, not only because it's Black History Month and all the history that comes with that and all the stuff that we celebrate for this month, and we should celebrate it more than 1 month, but that's another topic for another day. But it's also my birthday month, Super Bowl month, and a couple big movies and shows that we're looking forward to too. So with that being said, let's just kind of transition into tonight's top conversation. Can't wait for the Batman. Same here. Massive Sonic fan. Going to be a big year for Sonic's looking good. That trailer with Knuckles and Idris Elba in the role, it's looking good. But that doesn't come out till April. If I'm not mistaken. But let's get into this thing. Let's start the conversation off with the theaters, because the theaters are still a thing. They're still doing pretty well. Spider-Man No Way Home will show that if people still, when you get people excited enough, they'll go out and see a film at the theater. So let's start off with what's coming out to theaters. And I'm not going to be, just a heads up, because if you guys have followed this segment that I bring on the show, I don't go over all the movies coming to theaters, just the movies that kind of catch my eye, some things that intrigue me, some things that pique my interest, some things I'm definitely excited for. So if I don't mention a movie on this list, let me know in the comments if I missed a film and what film you guys are excited for. So let's start off with what's coming to theaters this Friday, February 4th. We got two of them. One is Jackass Forever, which I remember being younger and watching the Jackass crew on MTV and, being a fan of that content when I was that age. And, nowadays it doesn't really resonate with me. I'm just like, oh, that's cool that they can get most of the gang. I believe Bam, they're having like behind the scenes issues with him, but like, it's like suing people, which is sad to see because they all seem like they were great friends. But neither here nor there. I believe this is given to us by Paramount. I believe they did the other three films, and they're back. Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, Chris, the whole damn crew, Wee Man, and everyone will be coming back. Like I said, it's not for me, but there is a fandom that I know that Jackass crew has, and like I said, I used to be a fan of it, but I just kind of got a little bit older. They haven't quite yet. They're still doing their Jackass thing, but again, I'm happy that they're number one. They're still alive because they've done some crazy ass stuff, and they've done some dangerous stuff. So I'm glad that they're alive. They're doing well. They're still making these movies. I anticipate the people that love the crew will definitely come out and support them. I don't think it's going to be in theaters that long. I honestly think it's going to be on Paramount Plus probably in the next month or so. But Jackass Forever coming to theaters, only in theaters as it says on the poster, and this coming Friday. So let me know in the comments if you all are fans of this, if you've pre-ordered your tickets, if you're going to be first one in line to see Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville and Wee Man and all the crew minus Bam. But let me know if you all are excited for that film and if you will be seeing it this Friday. Let me see if we got some Jackass fans in the chat. James saying got my Jackass tickets, fan appreciation night with bonus content needs laughs bad. Yeah, like I said, I know there's some fans out there. I used to be a fan. I'm just not into the Jackass stuff anymore. But I hope it's a good film. I hope it's a fun film, and I hope that the people that are big fans of it are happy that they're making a film. And who knows, if they're still alive, still kicking, they might make more based on the success of this film. But let me know if you all are excited for Jackass Forever. But let's move on to the next film, which is a film that came out to early screeners. I didn't get a chance to see it. It wasn't playing here in St. Louis. And if I'm being honest with you all, I really wasn't excited for the film, but we're talking about the new End of the World brought to us by the same director of Independence Day 2012, and that is a Moonfall, which has a pretty solid cast. I'm not gonna lie. You have Holly Berry, my man Patrick Wilson. You got my man's from Game of Thrones. You got Sutherland. A lot of interesting characters here. Donald Sutherland and Kelly Wu and all that. So I've heard some things about it. I've talked to some people that have seen Moonfall. And yeah, it's a cup of tea, right? It's for people. I like End of the World kind of disaster movies to a certain extent. And this one looked interesting based on the trailers, but yeah, I don't think I'll be going to the theater to see this anytime soon. But hey, that doesn't mean that you can't go out this Friday and enjoy, all the craziness that what's my man's name that directed this film, who does all the crazy stuff, Independence Day. Roland Emmerich, he will be directing this film. And like I said, there is an audience for these type of movies. I'm one of them. Like I said, I like most of the ones that I've seen in my, growing up in the 90s. That's what, the End of the World films were at its heyday, if you ask me, during that time. And obviously, we got some good ones in the 2000s, 2010s. Again, he's the director of Independence Resurgence, which was terrible. But I didn't like it. You might have liked, I didn't like that film. And what was the other one? I like 2012. 2012 was fun, but I've heard Moonfall was was a film. Let's just say that from the people I spoke to. But let me know in the comments if you number one, again, they had like an early screening last week. I didn't get a chance. They weren't playing it early here in St. Louis. And like I said, I don't plan on seeing it this Friday. But let me know if you saw it last week. And if you have a quick review, if you want to say, Elliot, you're missing out, man. Roland Emmerich is back. He's doing his thing with this. Or if you're like me and like, yeah, I'll just wait till it comes on TNT, next year or the year after that, or TBS or something like that. But let me know if you all are excited for those two films that are coming out this Friday, which again is Jackass Forever and Moonfall coming out this Friday. So let's move on to the following week. We got three movies coming out the following week, next week to be exact, which is we got an action thriller film. We have a whodunit murder mystery, and we have a rom-com. We haven't got a rom-com in theaters in a very long time with some pretty good star power. But let's start off talking about the action film, the action guy of all action guys, and that's Liam Neeson, who's just been doing his thing, which seems like forever in these type of all the films. He just needs to make a universe. They need to make a Liam Neeson universe where he is the guy from Taken, he is the guy from all the other 90 other films that are like essentially in the same world, and he's just out for the revenge for everyone. He wants to kill everyone. I don't know what else this man cannot do, but he is back with another action thriller. And as the poster says, they're going to need more men because this is Liam Neeson. He is a Terminator. He is a guy that doesn't take no one's nonsense. If you mess with his family, he's going to kill you. If you don't mess with his family, he's going to kill you. Liam Neeson has been doing his thing for a while, and I appreciate Liam Neeson. I'm a fan of his work. Being a kid, seeing him and all the different films he's been in, and just the career he's kind of built out. I could have sworn 3 years ago, he said he was done making these movies. But I guess if you pay the man enough money, he just keeps coming back and killing all these people that are doing evil things to his family or doing things that he doesn't approve of. So we have a Blacklight, which again is probably stereotypical Liam Neeson revenge story of someone messing with his family or doing some messed up things. And it looks like, based on the synopsis here, there's a controversy or a conspiracy going on within the FBI ranks, and there's a plot targeting U.S. citizens that reaches the highest powers to be. You have some not really other star power besides Liam Neeson, but it's Liam Neeson. He has a gun and he's going to kill people. So, I mean, that's all you need to know, right? So let me know if this new Liam Neeson conspiracy theorist action thriller film is something you all are excited for. Let me pull up some of these comments and see what you all are talking about here. If you're going to be checking out Liam Neeson this Friday. We're talking about, I think this was the comment based on the Moonfall, like I said, FX, TNT FX, it'll be on TV in due time. Let's see here, what else we got? Ali says, what I'm most looking forward to in February is Uncharted, which we'll talk about here in a bit, but the casting is not a good fit. Mark Wahlberg, Tom Holland, love them as actors, but they don't fit the game. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a second, Ali, because I have my thoughts on that, because that is we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to it in a second. Yeah, you're right, James. That's what you need, a wacky movie like those. So let me know. Again, we're talking about Blacklight, Liam Neeson. Are you guys checking that out this Friday? Let me know in the comments. So let's move on to a film that's been pushed back quite a few times. A film that actually, if I'm being honest with you all, I enjoyed the first one. Murder on Orient Express. It was a really good film in my opinion. And we got the sequel. We're talking about Death on the Nile. I mean, come on, look at this cast here. Leading the front is my celebrity crush, my favorite in the DCEU right now, and that's Gal Gadot. She's in the front of the poster. We got her. We of course got Kenneth Branagh, who's playing the lead character, as well as he's directing this film. As you all can see, we got Russell Brand in there, Armie Hammer. I'm surprised they weren't able to figure out a way to digitalize his face and recast him, but he's in the film. Emma McKay, who, if you all don't know, I love her from Sex Education. Who else have we got in this film? We got Letitia Wright. She's going to have a big film coming out later this year in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So really cool, diverse, interesting cast here. It's a sequel to a film that I was pleasantly surprised about. I know it's obviously based on the novels, which a lot of people are fans of. But definitely now. Cast looks great, but man, you talk about casting and just like outside forces kind of maybe impacting a box office of the film because Letitia Wright has had her more recently with the Black Panther stuff with being her comments on vaccinations and stuff. So she comes with a little bit of baggage. We have obviously Army Hammer. If you all aren't too familiar with his whole controversy, go ahead and do yourself a favor. Don't do yourself a favor because it's some pretty messed up stuff that he's been alleged to have done in his romantic doings off camera. So there are two people in this film that definitely has some baggage with them. So I don't know if that will necessarily affect the box office, but I know there's people that have their opinions about those two actors. So it's unfortunate because I think this is going to be a really good follow up to a good sequel. Obviously, new story, new characters, new murder mystery, but obviously the same main character played by Kenneth Branagh. So I don't have plans on seeing this in theaters, but if I can get my hand on an early screener, I will definitely give it a watch and maybe give you guys my thoughts on it if I get the opportunity to see it. But let me know in the comments if you all are excited for Death on the Nile, if you are at all, a little bit hesitant with some of the cast members in the film, or if you're just not interested in it, right? Because that can be a possibility. Maybe the trailer hasn't sold you on what to expect in this film. But again, I like murder mysteries. I'm a big Kenneth Branagh fan. I told you all how I feel about Gal Gadot. I pretty much support anything that she does on the big screen. And also, like I said, even, putting aside Letitia Wright's comments, I hope that she can figure her stuff out and hopefully continue to have a good, prospering career. Again, the young lady from, Sex Education, Richard Brand, Russell Brand is in the film and some really good talent here. So I don't know. Let me know if you all are looking forward to this film, if you pre-ordered your tickets, or if you will be seeing this in theaters this Friday. Let me catch up to some of you guys' comments on this film. Gal Gadot, yeah, she's very attractive. She's also talented. Let's put that. She's a talented individual, but she happens to be very attractive as well, in my opinion. I'll say that. I'm really excited to see. I don't know if I can't remember from the trailer. Did she die? Did she die pretty early? I can't remember if she's the one that gets murdered. I can't remember. I haven't seen a trailer in a while for this film, but I'm looking forward to it. Let's see here. We got Matthew in the building. What's going on? I'm doing good, Matthew. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping by, showing some love again for everyone that's watching this live. If you haven't already, give the video a thumbs up. It means a lot to me, but also it helps the algorithm to spread this particular video out to all the people that love talking about these movies and shows that we're going to be highlighting tonight. And also hit that share button. If you all have social medias, Instagrams or Twitters or, TikToks or what have you, share that if you want. No need to, not pressuring you all, but if you want, go ahead and share that to all the movie loving, TV loving fans that out there, for we can get them in the chat and have a good conversation tonight. I'm looking forward to Death on Now. Okay. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it too, because I'm a big fan of murder mysteries. Exactly, March and yeah, it's a little bit dry season, James. There's some dry stuff, but we got some TV stuff that I'm excited to talk about a little bit later. Another one to check out, Death and Now, sounds good too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, we talked about Gal Gadot. What's going on, Caitlin? How are we doing tonight? Thank you for stopping by, showing some love. We got Rebecca. Looks like it's worth a watch. I'll check it out. Awesome. Cool. So, all right, let's move on to the next film, which is coming out this same Friday, which is February 11th. Let's move on to, let me get this out the way here. What's our next film on the agenda, which is Marry Me. So again, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. We got a rom-com. We got a rom-com starring Jennifer Lawrence, Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo from the block, my man Owen Wilson, doing some rom-coms, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, when was the last time you saw a rom-com in theaters? I'm talking about a legit romantic comedy. I'm asking you all, I'm literally trying to think in my head the last time I saw like a legit good rom-com. It's been a while, man. Like 2019, maybe. Damn, maybe 2018. I can't think of the last rom. So, and I say that because a lot of the rom-coms are now on streaming services. Netflix being the king of rom-coms, whether it be your teenage rom-coms, coming of age rom-coms, your adult rom-coms, the setup, for all the boys before, kissing booths of the world. They have that game locked down, and they're all not that good, but they got some decent ones. But I'm really trying to recollect the last time I've seen a rom-com in theaters. Was it what was that Amy Adams, or not Amy Adams, but Amy Schumer film, Pretty Girl, Pretty Woman, not Pretty woman. I can't think of that's the last one that kind of comes to mind. That was literally like 3 years ago. The last time I saw like a romantic comedy in theaters. So this one looks interesting. She's a pop star, big star. Not a bit of a stretch because she is that in real life. She's a pop star that wants to marry another famous person, and he like cheats on her. She's on like she in the heat of the moment. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna get my revenge, and I'm gonna marry a fan or something. And that fan happens to be Owen Wilson, who I think like his wife died and his daughter's at the concert and all that stuff. The tropey stuff we come to love with rom-coms. And then they end up, figuring out that they like each other. They have more things in common. It's the traditional rom-com. But like I said, two talented people, two people that have been in several rom-coms. I mean, you all know J-Lo back in the early 2000s was all about rom-coms. Her, Matthew McConaughey, Owen Wilson has his fair share of rom-coms. So it's a rom-com in theaters, and I hope it does well because we don't get enough of those in theaters. Like I said, Netflix has dominated that genre. But let me know if Marry Me is a film you all are excited for, if it's something you all want to check out. And again, let me know in the comments, when was the last good rom-com you've seen in theaters? I literally can't think of one off the top of my head. Let me go in the chat and see if you all can give me some ones to bring up. We got Rims 17. What's going on, Rims? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe. I appreciate you showing some love, coming by tonight. Rims, let me know. When's the last good rom-com we got in theaters? Like I said, I know Netflix dominates it right now, but what was the last good rom-com that was in theaters? KW, I was looking forward to Death on Now, but Bronner's Murder on Orient Express 2 weeks ago. Oh, you saw? Okay, and I did. Oh, you didn't like it? Okay, a fan of the book. Brana's not a very good. Maybe because I haven't read the book, so I didn't come from that prior knowledge of the character and the prior knowledge of those stories. So I maybe I was just a little, open to it versus someone that might be a little bit like you mentioned. You're familiar with the book, so I enjoyed it, but I know it wasn't for everyone. But hopefully, maybe the next one is up is better than the first one for you. James says Game Night. James, that is, it's a romantic film. It's a date night movie. But I was talking about this film the other day when I was reviewing Apple TV Plus, The Afterparty. That was the last like good comedy, in my opinion, that we got in theaters was Game Night. It's funny we bring that. I was watching that like a couple of nights ago before I was watching Afterparty because I was just like in such like a funny comedy movie, and that's such an underrated movie. And a good call out, Jay. I think I would put that in a rom-com category, even though there's not like people falling in love. There's people that was already, there was a bunch of married couples. Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams were married, and the guy whose girlfriend or wife slept with Denzel Washington. That whole plot was funny. So yeah, that's a good call. That's a good one. Let's see. Marry Me will have so many proposals. Yeah, probably. It's that time of the year. I think Hitch was the last. Justin, you ain't lying. That's one of my favorite Will Smith films, but one of my favorite rom-coms as well. And if that's the last rom-com, you might be right, Justin. That's the last like good one I can think of. But I think there has to be something else that was we mentioned earlier, Game Night can fall in that category. But outside of that, I can't think of any like really standout ones like we used to get in the 90s with Meg Ryan, like I said, Matthew McConaughey, Tom Hanks. We don't get them like we used to, unfortunately. Rush it there. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I think some people are gonna see it because obviously it's that time of the year. Memory looks good, but not good enough to. Yeah, same. I agree with that, Justin. I agree with you on that point. This is this is what she's been known for. I'm not a huge, I love Owen Wilson. That's my guy, Rebecca. But I know he's not for what's his catchphrase? I can't think of it right now. But I like Owen Wilson. And him and J-Lo getting together is an interesting duo for sure. Is Afterparty any good? Yeah, Justin, check out my review, man. I reviewed it the other day, the first 3 episodes, spoiler-free review. It's on Apple TV Plus. I liked it. It's a really interesting, fun way to tell a murder mystery because each episode is a different genre. And what I mean by that is like literally from one episode to the next, you can have an episode that is kind of a funny, quirky type of episode. The next episode is like a action moment, and the next episode is a musical. So it's a very unique. It's created by Christopher Miller, who is, you all know, works with Chris and Lord Miller. They're the creators behind, or more so Chris, and Phil is the executive producer. But they're fantastic. The Lego Movie, 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, Into the Spider Verse. So it's those guys that brought it to Apple TV Plus. It's a fun show. Give it a watch. It's a funny, harmless, just a good laugh, good murder. Well, I found the comedy to be a little bit more interesting than the actual murder mystery, but it's only 3 episodes in. But I recommend it, Justin. Give it a watch. Let's see here. Last round come I saw The Big Sick KW. That's not a good, that's an excellent film. That not only has the rom-com isms of the two people falling in love and the girl gets terminal illness. Was it cancer? I can't remember what she had. But then also it is hilarious. Camille Nanjiani was so good in that film. And that is a good one. I think that was 2016, 2017. It might have been 2017. So that's been a while. Like I said, we don't get them in the theaters like we used to, unfortunately. We got D Movie Man in the building. I legit thought it was premiere. I missed, then realized it was live. Yeah, we're doing it live. D Man. What are 3 Apple TV shows you recommend to someone new to the service? Whew. Great question, D Movie Man. So many to choose from. I was actually talking to a friend of mine the other night about this. Just 3. I can name maybe 10 of them, but let me narrow it down to 3. Number 1, my favorite Apple TV show to date, Defending Jacob. If you guys have not seen Defending Jacob, if you have the service, that is one of my favorite murder mysteries in a long time. It was high quality tension, a great mystery, a great family drama. Chris Evans, the little kid from It, whose name is slipping right now. I want to say Jacob, but I don't think it's Jacob, but fantastic. That's number 1. Defending Jacob, recommend that. So that kind of touches that drama, murder mystery itch if you're into those type of shows. Man, I love The Morning Show. I didn't finish season 2, but I'll say C. I really enjoy C. That's the Jason Momoa show. It's a sci-fi futuristic show where we're like 300 years into the future, where people have lost their sight, and it's just like Game of Thrones-ish. Not to the. I mean, it's funny because Jason Momoa was in Game of Thrones, but it has some of those political. Can I trust this? It's a really good show, really action heavy based. So I will put that up there. So that's, that touches the action side of things. So I gave you a drama, I gave you an action. There's some sci-fi on Apple TV, like The Foundation, I enjoyed. There's Servant for, kind of supernatural, thrilling shows. And you know what? What was wrong with me? Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso. If you want a feel-good comedy D Movie Man, Ted Lasso is the way to go. Jason Sudeikis and that whole damn crew is fantastic. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna laugh and cry again. It's a fantastic show. I used to cover on the channel, but then I had an issue with YouTube, like giving me it was a long story short. I love Ted Lasso. So those are the 3, and I can give you many more, but those 3 come to mind. Again, Defending Jacob, C, and then Ted Lasso. And like I said, the Morning Show is good. Servant's good. I feel like I'm missing. So I've seen a lot of them. I know a lot of people like the astronaut show, For All Mankind. I couldn't get into it, but I know people love that. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I can go on and on. I love long story short, D Movie Man. I love Apple TV Plus. It's probably my favorite streaming service, if not above HBO Max. It's definitely in the same conversation with like Netflix for me. They don't have the quantity of stuff to watch, but they have the quality, and that's what I love about Apple TV. They don't just pump out a bunch of stuff just to make subscriptions. They actually have some great content out there. And it's unfortunate that a lot of the shows get overlooked and get because I don't think they do the best of job of marketing their shows, but they got some great stuff on there, man. So I hope you like those recommendations. You guys can see I love talking about Apple TV Plus. I'm going to talk about them a little bit later because they're on my rundown here. So let me get back to it. D Movie Man, appreciate the comment. Appreciate it, my friend. Glad you're able to make it tonight. Hope you like those recommendations. Let's go back to it. Let me bring this up here. So what did we last leave off at? So those were the movies we talked about. Blacklight, we talked about Death on the Nile and Marry Me. So let's move on to the next week, which we got some 3 different films, but 3 interesting films. Number 1, if you all don't know, I love me a good horror film, and I love me some supernatural horror films. And we got a new one coming out by the name of The Cursed. I don't know if you all have seen the trailer. I don't know if I should even allude to what this show or this movie's about. If you can see from the poster, there's some teeth there, and they're not vampire teeth, so you can put two and two together. We're talking werewolves, ladies and gentlemen, and we're talking like this kind of the witch type of vibes. Is taking place in like the 18 to 1700s, 1800s. People are, getting picked off left and right, and there's just like some really creepy stuff, as the posters say. I mean, you can't always trust the poster, but it says one of the best horror films of the year. Now granted, it's only February, but they might. I've heard some good things about it. I have been in contact with some of the people that are behind the scenes. I'm hoping to see it in the next week or so. But to give you all a little rundown here of this supernatural werewolf film here, The Cursed, we have it premiered last year at Sundance, and I heard really good things about it. But 19th century France, mysterious, possibly a supernatural menacing threat to a small village. Some people think it might be supernatural. Some people might think there's demons involved. And like I said, we're dealing with werewolves. So I'm a werewolf fan. I can't think. We talked about rom-coms. Man, when was the last good werewolf film we got? Like a straight up, not like hokey, jokey, action, underworld type of werewolf types of stories. But man, we don't get enough werewolf stories like we used to. We still got the vampires are doing their thing. We get vampire stuff every so often, but we haven't gotten like a real good werewolf. It's creepy, actually legitimately scary type of werewolf story. So I'm looking forward to The Curse, you guys. It's coming out February 18th. I'm hoping to see it in the next coming, hopefully next week, and give you all my thoughts on it. And I believe it's going to be in theaters, but also available to stream in the coming weeks. So let me know if you all have heard of The Curse. Again, it premiered at Sundance last year, and it's coming to theaters in a couple weeks. So let me know if you all are looking forward to that. As we move on to a kind of a family film, and we got Channing Tatum in Dog. It's not The Dog, it's just Dog. Only in theaters, coming out February 18th. It was cute, Turner Hooch type of vibes, this dog that can't be tamed, but him and Channing Tatum don't start off on, it's the stereotypical family, fun film type of movie here with a dog, a man and best friend, and trying to get along, and ultimately they probably will. And we find out that he lost maybe a dog when he was younger, or didn't like dogs when he was younger, and now he's going to fall in love with a dog. I'm trying to find a synopsis here. It is the directorial debut. Oh, I didn't know. Okay, Channing Tatum is directing this film, and this is his debut directing the film. Okay, and he's co-directing it with someone. All right, gotcha. And I mean, it looks like it's a paramedic. He's a paramedic, and he has his dog with him. And again, it's just he's gonna bond with the dog more or less. So I like these type of films. I don't normally go to the show to see them. I'll be honest with you all, but when I'm like at a friend's house and their parents want to watch a movie, this is the type of film you put on. So let me know if you all. I'm a dog lover. My dog is literally right here chilling right now, just being a good old homie. So my dog's here. So I like these type of films. Sometimes the dog films are a little bit they overdo it a little bit. But let me know if you are excited for it. Not The Dog, just Dog, which marks the directorial debut of the Channing Tatum. Let me know if you all are looking forward to that film. But wrapping up, what's coming to theaters before we get to streaming services, we got the big one here, ladies and gentlemen. That's February 18th. You see him on the poster, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, or he's not Peter Parker anymore if you've seen No Way Home. But we got Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg coming out this coming Friday, February 18th. We got Uncharted. Now listen, Uncharted is my favorite video game franchise of all time. I've played them all. I've beat them all. I've bought the games actually multiple times when they were from PlayStation 3 over to PlayStation 4. I love Nathan Drake. I love the adventure, the character Sully, and obviously Nathan. I love just how fun the games are, the puzzles, the mystery. Learning more about Drake as the series went on. His relationship. And all the stuff that we get there. We got a somewhat of an origin story with the young, and this. If you've played the video game, I want to say it was Uncharted 2 when we got that first flashback of young Nathan, and then 3, I think they introduced or he talked about his brother. It's been a while since I played the games, but we have young Nathan Drake, which again, there's precedent for this in the franchise. They gave us the origins of him of sorts, so it makes sense why you would cast Tom Holland to tell the younger story, because the idea would be to have him play this role until he gets older up in age, so he can kind of look more like the Nathan Drake that we saw in the video game, which I would say was probably late 30s, early 40s in that franchise. So, I mean, long way to go for Tom Holland to be in his late 30s, early 40s, but it's obviously he can grow in the role if it's successful. That's the big thing, because someone mentioned it earlier in the chat. The casting, the people were like, oh, okay, it's Tom Holland. I like Tom Holland, but it's Mark Wahlberg that gets me nervous, because Sully is a hell of a character. Obviously, it's going to be a younger version of him, but from the trailers, Mark Wahlberg's just playing Mark Wahlberg, which works sometimes, but not for Sully, man. And I could be wrong. Obviously, I haven't seen the film yet. I'm just basing off of the trailers, but he just doesn't fit the role to me. But I hold my judgment to actually see the film, which this is a film, like being a diehard fan of the video game, like I have to see this film. Like it's no question about it. I got it Uncharted in theaters. So the trailers look fine. They're paying homage to the video game, obviously, from this poster here, which a lot of these posters, if I'm being honest with you all, have been little garbage, if I'm being honest. But it's Tom Holland, it's Mark Wahlberg, it's a video game franchise that I love and adore and hold near and dear to me. I love those games. So who knows if they're going to make a franchise out of this? I'm more excited for The Last of Us. If you ask me, I thought they should have made Uncharted into a TV series, because I mean that's just money. That's just whoever would have picked that up. Which I know, what is this? Sony is doing this film, so obviously they don't have a streaming service, but that would have been a great TV show from Uncharted. Every week's a new mission. We're going over. It would have been expensive. Don't get me wrong, but I would have loved to have seen this in a TV format like we wouldn't get with The Last of Us. But it's coming out February 18th. I'm going to be in theaters. Will you be checking this out? Uncharted in theaters, coming out in a couple weeks. Let me catch up with you all in the comments here. Brandon's asking, have I eaten the Batman Little Caesars pizza? I have not, but it looks pretty tasty. Yeah, Rich. That's a good one. A rom-com. I forgot about that one. That's really good. Good call. I'm currently writing a screenplay right now. I was wondering if you would want to read it when it's done. It's a murder. You just sold me. Murder mystery, and kind of like it's a murder mystery, and it's kind of like Succession meets a murder mystery. Matthew, yes, hit me up. DM me that, my friend. You might like it. Yes, you're talking all my language. Murder mystery, Succession. Yes, please. When you wrap it up, send it to me, man. I would love to check it out. And shout out to you. Writing a screenplay. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely shoot me that screenplay, because that is stuff that's right up my alley. Tony Movie Chappie, what's going on? Wow, thank you, DJB. That's what his logo is, or his catchphrase is. What about Truth Be Told? Rims, I gave it a shot. I love Octavia Spencer. Who else was in season 1? Because they do like a new. Who else was in that? Man, it's slip. I know. Man, who was in the first season with her? Oh, Jesse Pigman, right? Or not Jesse Pigman. That was his name in Breaking Bad, but Aaron Paul, I think, was in it. And I watched it, Rims. I watched the first 3 episodes. I just wasn't feeling it. Omar Epps was in that. Was it Omar Epps? I think he was in it. Just didn't, I wasn't into it. I know they got a second season. I love Octavia Spencer. I just didn't vibe with it. I was all about Foundation. I'm a big sci-fi head, so I really like that. I just rewatched Shang-Chi. I'm confused with Bruce, cousin Shang-Chi. He's back. Don't even get me started, John, about Professor Hulk. Shang-Chi, very good film. And I talked about it in my spot. We did did we do a live on that? Well, we talked about it on our live stream, but I did a full spoiler review on it. The Hulk is not my favorite character in the MCU. I'll just say that. I definitely will be checking out Jackass Forever and Moonfall. How many episodes in Foundation? 10 episodes, super high, super sci-fi, very heady sci-fi. Not like a ton of action, but some decent action. Visually stunning, but I enjoyed it. I can watch a horror at 7 a.m. I can watch a horror at 7 a.m., 2 a.m. I love a good horror film. Werewolf movie, I'm watching it now, but not in theaters. Yeah, I love werewolf movies, and we haven't gotten one in a very long time. Also, have you seen Werewolf Within? I haven't. That's Sam Richardson, right? It was like a comedy, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I love a good Sam Richardson comedy. American Wolf in Paris. Yep, that was a good one. American Wolf in London is a little bit better. Well, not a little bit. It's superiorly. It's like the superior film, in my opinion. American Werewolf in Paris is a little bit more comedy beats, and the visual effects were okay for its time. But American Wolf in London, probably my favorite werewolf movie of all time. And what's the Steven Spielberg one? Was it Silver Bullet? That's a decent one, not like the best one. And of course, people I know love the underworld movies. That's cool. Haven't seen a werewolf movie in a long time. Wes Craven's Curse. That's a good one. That's a good one. I haven't seen that one in a while. So yeah, yep. And now let's see what we're talking about with the Uncharted stuff. Yeah, Uncharted. I don't know. Yeah, I know we're on the fence. It might be the surprise hit of this year. Fingers crossed, but it's a little, I'm on the fence about that one too. Uncharted movie could be okay, but Nathan Fillion should have been cast. Yeah, who knows? Maybe there's a role for him. Maybe he can be like Nate's brother or Nathan Drake's brother in the future films if they get multiple films. But I think this point in his career, not saying he can't do it because if you guys seen the little short film that Nathan Fillion did, he looks just like Nathan Drake. But I don't know if it's maybe past his prime, if you ask me. But Octavia Spencer, yeah, like I said, I couldn't really get into it. Are you looking forward to? So we're going to talk about that here in a second, Cassandra. I will definitely address that here in a second. But there you have it. We talked about what's coming out in theaters in the coming weeks. We got Jackass Forever and Moonfall coming out this week. Next week, we got Blacklight, Death on the Now, and Marry Me. And then we have wrapping up, or in the middle of the month, The Cursed, Dog, and Uncharted. So out of those films, which ones will you be seeing in theaters? Which ones are you most excited for? Let's talk about that on in the chat, or if you're watching this on the replay. So let's move on to, we went from what's in the theaters, but in the last, decade or so, streaming has been the talk of the town, and especially here in Movie Files, we love talking about things on streaming services. And we're going to start off with Netflix because they're still the king, regardless of their quality of shows. They still have some of the best shows on TV. We just got Ozark recently. Of course, you got your Stranger Things of the world. My favorite show of all time, Dark, is on Netflix. So they do their thing. Squid Games was a phenomenon last year. We got All of Us Are Dead this year. So Netflix, in my opinion, still the one that has to be dethroned. But we got some things to look forward to when it comes to Netflix. Let's talk about a couple of them. Not a lot of stuff. There's a ton of stuff that's coming out. Obviously, Netflix puts out like 10 movies a day and 19 shows a minute. But the ones that kind of stood out to me, Space Force. February 18th, we have Space Force Season 2. Now, I got the opportunity to watch Space Force last year or whenever, 2020. I reviewed Season 1, and I'll be honest with you all, I'm a huge Steve Carell fan. John Malkovich, you have, Ben Schwartz, really great cast. But if I'm being honest with you all, Season 1, Space Force wasn't for me. It was trying to be, trying to play on the, the jokes and the absurdity of a Space Force, and it's kind of trying to be. It wasn't trying to be The Office, like it wasn't that like shot like The Office, but they're trying to like hit on those, day-to-day work, mundane work type of environment. But obviously they work in the Space Force, and you got some people that are smarter than others, so it writes itself. But man, for a comedy, it's not funny. It didn't do his job. And again, comedy is very subjective, but I wasn't the only one that thought that. A lot of people that I spoke to, a lot of people, the reviews that I've seen and read, and the review I have on my channel, I'm not surprised it got a season 2, because I'm pretty sure, because I mean, you put Steve Carell back on TV. He has been on TV since The Office, as Michael Scott, Lisa Kudrow's in the show as well. Like I said, John Malkovich, was the last time he was on TV. Ben Schwartz is great on Parks and Rec, and he's actually in the Afterparty. So great cast, but it wasn't funny. And that's what you want to watch a show about, to be funny, and to not be funny. It just kind of did not stick the landing for me. So I don't plan on watching season 2, but let me know if you all are excited for season 2, if you've seen season 1. If you did, what did you think about it? And there'll be more of Space Force? I hope not, but shout out to those that love it. I'm glad it's coming back for those that love it. I just wasn't a fan of season 2, or season 1, I should say. But who knows? Maybe season 2, I think they might have had a new head writer on the writing the script, so it might be funnier, might be better. I don't know. We'll see. I love Steve Carell, but I'm not gonna lie, season 1 was a bit of a drag, and like it felt like it was like homework versus like actually enjoying a show for me when I reviewed it last year. But neither here nor there. Let's talk about the next one here. And we just got the trailer for this the other day. and that's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the follow up. This is very Hollywood right now to give you a sequel to the original film versus acknowledging the previous film. Because I believe, based on the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think there's like 8 in the franchise, if I'm not mistaken, and there's 3, maybe 4 in like the in that same narrative from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So they're ignoring the sequels and they're just basing it off of the original. Which again, Halloween. What else did that? Something else did that recently. I think Candyman did that as well. It's kind of like a sequel-ish follow-up. And there's something else that's slipping my mind that continues and on. But either one, it's a Hollywood trope right now. It's just to give you a sequel to the original, to hit that nostalgia. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not looking forward to this. The trailer was okay. The moment in the trailer, if you guys didn't see it, where we see Leatherface, which to me is just so baffling that if this is taking place in the original took place in the 70s. You're telling me this man is who's like pushing 80 is still running around with a chainsaw and I'm supposed to be scared? Like, okay, we'll see how that goes. He's eating people. So, I mean, he's Hannibal Lecter. He's putting people's faces on. Maybe he can absorb the youth and it can still wield a chainsaw, but neither here nor there. The trailer was okay. The bit with the people with the cell phone, like, hey, you come at me, bro, I'm gonna cancel you. That was kind of funny. And then the massacre being in the bus was a cool shot. But I've heard some things behind the scenes, and I've know some people that got an early screen or not early screen, but like a test screen of it, and yeah, it wasn't the most highly regarded film. I'll just say that. But they've had some issues behind the scenes. They had a director attached to it who was shooting for like the first couple weeks, principal for principal photography, and he was butting heads with the writers and the producers, so he got fired. And they brought someone in, and obviously they brought in their sensibilities. I believe Febres, who I love from Evil Dead, one of the best remakes in my opinion in recent memory with horror franchises. He's fantastic. So he's attached to it, but doesn't necessarily mean he has all his hands in the cookie jar, because he was attached to, Don't Breathe 2, and that sequel didn't hold a candle to the first one. So I don't know, man. I'm going to watch it. Don't get me wrong. I love horror, as I mentioned in this stream earlier. We were talking about the curse, but I don't know. I'm not going to have a high expectation for this film. And sometimes when you do that, you walk out surprised. So I'm hoping that's the case, that I go in with like bottom of the barrel expectations and walk out being like, damn, that was really good. And they explain how this 80-year-old is carrying this chainsaw and chasing these young folks around town and, killing them. But we'll see, man. What Netflix has. But let me know in the chat, guys. Are you all afraid of an 80-year-old man with a chainsaw? I mean, to be honest, anyone with a chainsaw is pretty terrifying. But let me know if you all are looking forward to the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. OMG, I binged all of us. What a wild ride. Yeah, I watched Purple Queen Sugar. Watching that for 12 hours straight was a very emotional roller coaster. It's a really good emotional show. Some really good coming of age moments, and the zombies were pretty badass. So I had a good time with it. Check out my review for it if you guys haven't already. It's a really good show, really great show, phenomenon if you ask me. I think a lot of people are going to catch up to it like they did Squid Games, and it's going to be a big one. Force one day. Oh, hey Justin, I'm glad you loved it, man. I wasn't a fan of it, just it didn't tickle my fancy, as they say. So I'm glad you love it. So I know you're probably excited for season 2. Ray, what's going on? For all my fellow zombie movie fans, there's a new zombie Augie film coming out this week called I never heard of that, man. I have to check out the trailer. I appreciate the recommendation. I didn't care for Space Force, only watched. Yeah, I watched all of it, and I didn't enjoy it as much. Oh, excuse me. I could not be surprised to Space Force. The first one, maybe Tony. Maybe the second season is going to be better than the first season. That's the hope, right? That's what you want for TV. You want the second season to be better than the first, the third one to be better than the second, so on and so forth. This might be terrible. Is me? I feel like it's a ripple Halloween 18, especially basically it's the same motives. Yeah, and I forgot Lois. Yeah, the trailer. Yes, it is almost like a similar, because they had the original actress who's the final girl of the first Texas Chainsaw. She's back in it, and she's like, I've been waiting 50 years to catch Leatherface. It's like, come on, man. This is essentially Halloween, which the original Texas came out before Halloween, like 4 years before, or like 2 years before. But yeah, it's definitely playing on that nostalgia beat. Kingdom, yeah, I've been wanting to watch Kingdom for a while, Justin. I've heard that's fantastic. Yeah, amazing story, beautiful production, spectacular cast. I gotta sit down and watch that eventually. Yeah, yeah. If we're talking about Texas, I heard that the test screenings were not good. um, let's go here. We got a super chat from my homie Adam showing some love. I appreciate you. There's a debate about streaming on whether to release all episodes at once or weekly. What are your thoughts on that? Great question, Adam, and thank you so much for the super chat, man, and showing some love and supporting the channel, man. I appreciate that. But to answer your question, it's a great question. I think it depends on the show, right? I think some shows are meant for the week to week experience, give the audience a breath to kind of collect their thoughts, especially if it's like a heavy, Marvel and Disney are doing that now, right? We speculate about what does this mean, what does that mean, who's going to cameo next week. So I think certain shows play to that. Murder mysteries are a great week to week, keeps you on the edge of your toes, shows like that. So I think it all just depends. Like if it's a comedy, I think comedy should just be dropped all at once. Not saying that comedy shouldn't be in that same strategy for week to week, like Ted Lasso, which season one was all available to watch, and then season two they were like, this is a good show. We need to maybe bring in some viewership and get those numbers up week by week. So obviously there's some companies that play on that marketing side of it, but I think it just depends on the material, and it depends on what type of show we're talking about. Like I said, murder mysteries to me, keep that conversation going week to week. The Marvel, DC, Star Wars, keep that conversation, generate those high revenue ads for week to week thing, all that stuff. So it just depends on the material. For me, for a content creator, I'll tell you, it's a luxury to have a week to week show because it allows me to breathe and watch all 15 shows that I'm covering at once. So I like it as a content creator. But then again, when it's something like light and easy, like that show, The Woman in the House Next Door to the Woman in the whatever the name of the Kristen Bell show that I review on this channel, that was an easy binge. I was like 23, 24-minute episodes, 7 to 8 episodes. It was like I binged that in like a day and a half. So those were like I love that type of binge. But again, when you have a show like the zombie show we're talking about, All of Us Dead, that was dropped all at once. But I would have loved if that was like a week to week show, which Netflix doesn't really do. But I think Arcane they did that with, which I've yet to see. But long-winded answer, Adam. It depends on the show for me. But I like the conversation that the week to week builds on certain shows, like I said, the Marvel, the DC, and all that stuff. So, and again, let me know in the chat, guys, if you're excited for Mr. Leatherface making a return, wielding that chainsaw and killing some folks, because he's an angry guy. He's an angry man that likes to eat people. So let me know if you technical difficulties there. Let me get back in the stream there. Sorry about that, guys. Let me get this off of the screen. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff. Doing it live. All right, guys. So we talked about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Let's move on to the next one here. We talked about Space Force. So those are the big ones that kind of caught my eye. Like I said, I know Netflix has a ton of stuff coming out next month or this month, but let me know between Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Space Force, which one are you most excited for? So let's move on to, as I mentioned, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, streaming service right now, and that's Apple TV Plus. We got a new show coming out, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of a thrilling drama conspiracy type of show, and that is Suspicion, a show starring Uma Thurman. I haven't seen her in a while. We all know her from Kill Bill and many other things, such as Pulp Fiction, and just has a wonderful career. So I haven't seen her in a minute, so it'll be great to kind of see what she's been up to, as far as getting her acting chops in the forefront. So again, this is Apple TV Plus. Like I told you all up top, this is a streaming service that doesn't get enough love, in my opinion. They have a lot more great content than some of the big dogs out there, and they don't have the quantity of a Netflix or an Amazon or Hulu or what have you, but they have the quality. And this is something that piques my interest. It's a thrilling conspiracy theory show. Uma Thurman's son is like kidnapped, and is political driven. Who took her son? So it's like a kind of a mystery as well. So that'll be coming to Apple TV on this Friday. I have not gotten a chance to see it early, but I might give it a shot. I always give a show a couple episodes, see if it piques my interest. And based on the trailer and based on the people involved, this might be something I might give a watch. So let me know if Suspicion is something that you guys have seen a trailer for, and if you guys are excited for it. Like I said, Uma Thurman, she's my girl, she's my homie. Haven't seen her in such a long time. But let me know what you all are thinking about that. But moving on to the next one here, this one really piqued my interest on Apple TV Plus, and this is right up my alley. Coming out February 18th, we have Ben Stiller. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the creator of this. We have Severance. This show is so interesting to me. This reminds me a lot of there was a show on FX a couple years ago called Devs, which was Alex Garland's show. It's like a sci-fi, free will type of show, which was, I loved it. But this show is not as sci-fi heavy, at least from the trailer, but it's looking interesting. We have essentially, as you can see, Adam Scott there. Is the whole setup with Severance is these group of people go to work, and their higher ups kind of have merged, like separate them from work and their personal lives, and they can't remember necessarily what they do and what they do outside of work. And it looks like there's some people taking over their minds. So definitely has some trippy vibes to it. Has a really great cast. And like I said, if you guys haven't seen any Ben Stiller work in the past, he's a pretty good director. Obviously, Ben Stiller, we know him from his comedy works, but he can get serious, and I love when comedians kind of dive deeper into the dramas and the supernatural and the mystery stuff. And this looks like right up my alley. Again, employees are they have this procedure when they have surgically separates their memories between what's real, what's not, between work and personal lives. So this is, again, very intriguing, very mysterious type of show that is definitely something I'm looking forward to. So keep an eye out for a review for that. I'm going to hopefully give the episode to watch this weekend, and it comes out in a couple weeks. So let me know if you all are looking out for Severance, and if so, if you are excited for it. Let's talk about it in the chat. So those are kind of the two big things that Apple TV Plus will be coming out with in the month of February. Again, that was coming out this Friday, Suspicion with Uma Thurman, a nice kind of drama mystery. And then coming out the following week, we have the Ben Stiller drama mystery starring Adam Scott as our main character in Severance. So let me know if that's a show that you all are looking forward to, and if so, if you guys will be watching out on a week-to-week basis. Let's talk about that in the comments. So let's move on to the next big dog, and that's Disney Plus, which has been doing some crazy things number-wise with the Marvel and the Star Wars stuff. And speaking of Star Wars, coming in a couple weeks on the 9th, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, the finale of the Book of Boba Fett. Now, I have not been reviewing this on a week-to-week basis, and to be honest with you all, it's been a long time since I've been able to watch a show and just watch it and not have to worry about reviewing it, which, who knows, I might do like a season review. Let me know if that's something you guys want me to do on the channel. But if you guys want me to do it, maybe I'll leave some of my thoughts about Boba Fett to that review. But I'll just say, Book of Boba Fett is an interesting show. It has some positives. Last week was the Book of Mandalorian, which was the best episode of the show, which speaks to the quality of the show. When you have a lead character not even showing up in the best episode, it speaks to the quality of that character, maybe. But neither here nor there. It touches on some interesting things. Boba Fett's a different person now. We get the Tusken Raiders, his backstory of why he is as reserved as we knew him to be from the end of The Mandalorian. He shot my man off the throne, and none of that gangsterisms is not in this show, which kind of is frustrating. But Finnick's great. The whole political side of the show with the mafia, the syndicate, the Pike syndicates are interesting. But man, the Mandalorian last week, that episode was fire. I mean, that was like a perfect prelude to Mandalorian season 3. What a great episode. But again, if you all want me to review like a season review, maybe I can do that for you all. But I'll just say I haven't been the biggest fan of that show. I don't even really watch him on Wednesdays. I watch him like on the weekend when I got free time. But we got the finale, and rumor has it we're going to get a bunch of cameos, which again, I mean, Boba Fett should be carrying his own show. We got Mando coming in, taking over, you would think, based on last week's episode, that Grogu might make an appearance next week or in the finale. maybe Luke Skywalker, especially since the actor that did the deep fake was in last week's episode, and maybe some other character. I know there was some rumors, and again, take this with a grain of salt. Han Solo might be in the episode. We'll see. Kara, I can't remember her name. Amelia Clark's character, because obviously she took over her syndicate with the Crimson Syndicate. So who knows? She might make an appearance. Maybe Lando, Donald Glover might make an appearance. Who knows? But all these appearances for a mediocre show. We'll see. We'll see what comes up. Let me know what you all think of the Book of Boba Fett and if you guys are excited for the finale coming in a couple weeks. But speaking of excitement, this is my childhood, ladies and gentlemen. On February 23rd, we have the return or the continuation, I should say, of the Proud Family, louder and prouder. Like I said, this is my childhood. I didn't watch like every episode, but I used to watch it as often as I could. Most of the cast is coming back. We got some new cast members getting into the mix. I think it's looking good. It's a lot of the same producers are back. The directors are coming back. So, like I said, this is my childhood a little bit, or not my childhood. I was more like a teenager when this came out, but it's a show I really enjoy, and that is the Proud Family, louder and prouder. Let me know if you all are as excited for the return of that. If you used to watch that when you were younger, when it was back out. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna check out the few episodes. I'm not gonna like review it or anything, but it's a show that I hold near and dear to my heart, and I'm excited that it's having a kind of a revival of a sort, so continuation of the original. So let me catch up to the chat first before we get into the next streaming service, which again, guys, I appreciate all of you all that are currently watching this live, this kind of live breakdown of all the new releases coming out this month. And normally I like to give you all this breakdown every month in a pre-recorded 10-15 minute video, but I want to try something new. I want to interact with you all, catch up with you all, talk about these shows, talk about these movies, and just have a good time. So if you guys are having fun, make sure you're liking the video, sharing the video, continuing the great conversations in the chat. Of course, do the same if you're watching this on the replay, and let's keep this night going because it's been a fun time. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm having a lot of fun with you all, as is not surprised because you guys are awesome. This community that we've built so far has been amazing. So let me catch up here. Rims, we were talking about Apple TV. She's excited for Suspicion and all that. I totally agree. I think it's a show that benefit of weekly treatment, although some folks see, is it outdated? Little Fires was a great click. Yeah, I mean, some of those shows, like especially with Netflix, when it's just like every episode ends on a cliffhanger, and you're just like, I gotta go to work in 30 minutes, but I gotta watch this next episode. So yeah, it definitely depends. So yeah, Steve Martin and Martin Short killed on Only Murders in Buildings. Yeah, when it's comedian bunch drama is always great. Yeah, I love Murders in a Building. I can't wait for that. Season 2, who did they cast in season 2 recently? He's a big actor. Was it Car? I can't remember. I think it was someone they casted, but I'm looking forward to it. You got some Proud Family fans in the building. Rims. Yeah, I used to love that show growing up. I think you should do a season review. All right, well, yeah, we'll see. Like, we'll see. Been enjoying Boba Fett, not because of Boba, more so because of BK, man. BK ain't no joke, even though he was they did him dirty a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with that character. Let's see here. You definitely should do a see. Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see if I can squeeze it into the schedule some way, somehow. But yeah, let's move on to the next streaming service, which is, I want to say it was HBO Max. Let's go to HBO Max. HBO, one of my favorite services out there. This Thursday, we got the return of Raised by Wolves. Season 2, first 3 episodes will be coming out this Thursday. And funny be it, I have seen the first 3 episodes literally before I went live today. So I watched the first 3 episodes of season 2. I won't give too much away here. I'm going to wait till my review comes out, which is a spoiler review. I'm assuming if you're watching season 2, you've seen season 1. So when my review comes out Thursday night or Wednesday night into Thursday morning, keep an eye out for that. But yeah, if you're a fan of the first season, I think you're going to enjoy what the first 3 episodes have to offer. We're on the tropical island now, or planet. We're getting more of the atheist collective and getting more of their perspective. We're getting a little bit more understanding of the serpent out there, Campion and Paul and all that stuff. So if you're a fan of season one, I think you're going to really enjoy the first 3 episodes. And I'm really excited to talk about those episodes with you all in the coming days. But, let me know. I'm a sci-fi fanatic, so I always love diving into sci-fi stories. And this is a really interesting one, visually great to look at. Really Scott's behind it, and he's a great, visual director when it comes to sci-fi. So let me know if you all were a fan of season one of Raised by Wolves. If you are you excited for season two? Which again, first 3 episodes will be coming this Thursday. I've seen the first 3 episodes literally today, and I shot my review before I went live. And let me know if this is a show you guys are looking forward to this Friday and what you hope to see in this new season of Raised by Wolves with Mother and Father and Campion and Paul and Marcus and Sue and the whole damn crew. Let me know if you all are a fan of the show and if you will be excited to see what they have in store for season 2. Let me know. Let me know. All right, so let's move on to our next big release, or not big release, but it's already been out, and it's been a show that I've been enjoying the hell out of, and that is Peacemaker. Season 1 finale will be on February 17th. And you all that have been following the channel know that I've been doing weekly reviews for Peacemaker. I have been enjoying the hell out of Peacemaker so far, minus my gripes with some of the comedy beats not being all the way funny to me and maybe prolonging the joke. But the story is really interesting with the butterflies. The story between, how Peacemaker was raised with his father, the White Dragon. We have Autobio, who's, without spoiling anything, her connective ties to who her mother is. Vigilante in the back there, my favorite character. We got Mern, we got, Economos and Harcourt, and can't forget about the friendly ego there. Eagly, what a show, man. I've really, really been enjoying Peacemaker so far, and it doesn't surprise me because James Gunn is a great writer and does a good job in telling like these stories of misfits coming together and figuring out how to stop an alien invasion with these butterflies. But it's the story, it's the characters, and again, not all the jokes work for me, but it is a funny show when it does stick the landing for me. So I've really been enjoying Peacemaker. We have just a few more episodes to the finale, and James Gunn has said expect some unexpected twists and turns, and the insiders of the world, the scoopers of the world. We talked about Boba Fett and the Mandalorian making an appearance. Apparently there's going to be a big cameo in the coming weeks in a Justice League cameo. I mean, Peacemaker has been, making fun of Aquaman. He's been making fun of Batman. He's been making fun of Superman. So I don't know if a Henry Cavill, a Ben Affleck, or a Gal Gadot, or Jason Momoa, or Ezra Miller as the Flash, like that would break the internet if one of those characters makes an appearance on this show. Because number one, even the Suicide Squad, I don't even know what universe. I know it was like somewhat loosely connected to the first Suicide Squad with obviously Harley Quinn and Rick Flag, but like, who is this world Superman? Is it our Henry Cavill Superman? Is it Ben Affleck's Batman? Is it the Justice League from Zack Snyder's verse? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out if the rumor is to be true that we're going to get a Bat or a Justice League member. That would be cool. And I want to see a Suicide Squad member come up, like, and particularly Bloodsport. There's some beef between Peacemaker and Bloodsport. Peacemaker's a different person now, but last time they saw each other, he was trying to kill Ratcatcher. So I would love to see King Shark, maybe. I don't know. Either there, even if we don't get a big cameo, what a good show. I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to see what the last few episodes have up his sleeve. I'm gonna probably watch. Speaking of Peacemaker, I'm gonna probably watch the 6th episode tonight and get you guys that review out as early as possible. So I've been enjoying Peacemaker. Let me know what you have, if you have been enjoying it as much as I have. But let me get to these comments here before we move on to another finale wrapping up here in the coming weeks. Let's see. Let me catch up. You guys have been awesome, leaving some great comments here. We talked about Proud Family. Let's see, with Tony saying, I'm someone that has had a lot of nostalgia and love for early 90s TV show. Yeah, cartoons, man. We don't get enough of them. What about Your Honor? Is it supposed to come back? I didn't watch Your Honor. Is that the Showtime with Bryan Cranston? I heard it was good, though. Raised by Wolves, yeah, sci-fi. If you're a sci-fi fan, I definitely recommend it. Are you a fan of Matthew? Yeah, I'm a fan of I've reviewed both seasons, or all 3 seasons on the channel, and I can't wait for season. I said all three seasons. It's only two seasons, and season three is coming out, right? If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I love that show. It's one of my favorite shows I've seen. Yeah, it's coming out this year. They're already done shooting it. It will be coming out later this year. I don't have a date for you, but it's coming out this year, and I can't wait for season three. Have you seen it? It's one of my favorite shows. Definitely HBO Max. Girl, I haven't. I haven't. I like period pieces, but I don't really like mm, watch shows around period pieces. It has a great cast. Carrie Coon's in it, who I love. Carrie Coon, like talk about HBO, Leftovers, fantastic, one of my favorite shows of all time. But I haven't heard too many people talk about it. Let me know. What is it? First three episodes, I would imagine, has been out. Is one of your favorite shows? Okay, I might have to give it a watch if I can somehow clone myself and figure out a way to watch that show. But I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. Please do a season two reviews. Yeah, I already shot the first three. So, depending on the engagement on the video, I can, because I did reviews of the first season. Was that back in 2020? So yeah, if the video gets enough, viewership and enough engagement, I will definitely do weekly reviews for that show. Love Peacemaker and love you. Well, thank you, Rims. I'm really enjoying that show so much. Did you see Brandon? What's up, Brandon? Did you see HBO Max suspended? Yeah, I did, which is great because it's like everyone needs HBO in their lives. So I'm glad more people overseas are getting an opportunity to see some of these shows that we are talking about today. Peacemaker, yeah. Heard good things. Yeah, it's good, Justin. It's really good, man. Honestly, only kept HBO Max because of DV and Scooby Doo content. Nice. DC content. I was like, what is DV? DC content. Gotcha. If Cyborg comes on a piece, I'm losing my. Yeah, okay. We'll see if with all the bad experiences that Ray Fisher has had, I don't even know we'll ever see him back as Cyborg. Unfortunately, because I thought he was great as Cyborg. But who knows? Yeah, it's Showtime. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Gotcha. Looking forward to. If you see my most anticipated shows of 2022, Barry was on that list. So yeah, man, I'm really excited for Barry season 3. Season 3. Barry season 2 is already out, so season 3 of Barry. Yeah, I cannot wait. Can't wait. One show you definitely need to watch is Arcane, man. I've heard some great things, Tony. I've heard some fantastic things, actually. I've heard some amazing things, actually. Yeah, I saw him really count me filling season 3 and visit the house. Oh, that's dope, Matthew. When you send me the screenplay, send me those pictures too. If you got some great photos of that. Archive 81 was gripping too. Yeah, I watched that, Rims. It was unfortunate. I got a early screening of it. I watched it over the weekend, but I didn't have time to shoot a review for it, unfortunately. Yeah, I was more engaged in the first half of the show than I was the second half of the show with the whole reveals. But it was a really interesting show. It was especially when they were at the table and the girl was going to she was reading her Terrascope or whatever, and she was like ripping her face off. That was like, oh my gosh, that's great. Yeah, that's a good show. That was a good show. I didn't get a chance to review that though. So, but yeah, it's really interesting show. Looking forward to Tokyo Vice. Oh, okay. I'm not too familiar with Tokyo Vice. But anyway, let's move on. Wrapping up with HBO Max, a show that I've been covering every single week. And boy, the drama. We're talking about the one, the only Euphoria. Season 2 finale is on the 27th. The season 2 finale, episode 8 of the HBO Max phenomenon. I just read an article today that the numbers of Euphoria, the first 3 episodes, have like 100% surpassed the viewership from season 1, which is, if you're a TV show, that's what you want to see. So listen, I love me some Euphoria. It is toxic. It is, drama. The tea is all the way hot and steamy. And it's a show that I've been having such a great time covering on a week-to-week basis. But more so, I've had the opportunity to have live streams with that show and had some amazing guests that I've been a fan of. Some people like The Movie Man has been on the stream before. We had Kristen and Gabriella last week. We've had One Take Big Dog on the show. My homie, we've had, so many great people. My girl Amanda, my man Sean came on there, and I got some other people lined up in a couple weeks, and I'm excited to kind of meet for the first time and get their thoughts on it. So if you all are a fan of Euphoria, let me know in the chat. Let me know what you all hope to see, especially after last week. Rue, can someone help Rue? Oh, Zendaya is so great, and Cassie and Maddie and Nate and Jules and Elliot and Cal. I hate Cal and Nate and all that stuff. But we got the finale of Euphoria. Let me know if you all are a fan of that show and if you're looking forward to that finale. So those are all the big kind of things that caught my eye with HBO. Couple finales with Euphoria season 2, Peacemaker season 1. We got the return of Raised by Wolves. So those are all the big things that caught my eye with HBO Max. Let me know if I'm missing something or if you all are looking forward to those shows. Let's talk about it in the comments. But wrapping up the stream here before we get into maybe like a Q&A session of this video, but let's talk about Hulu, man. Hulu got some good content. I've been a big fan of their stuff. They're attached to FX, and FX, whether it's Fargo, whether it's Legion, whether it's Sunny in Philadelphia, whether it was Devs, like I mentioned earlier. I never got into what's the biker show that people loved, whatever that show was, but they got the stuff. They're like, FX to me is like the cable version of HBO. Like they have like great stuff on there. They got a diverse category of catalogs of shows. I'm a big FX fan, which, like I said, is incorporated with Hulu. And they got a show that's coming out, a juicy drama kind of sexy show coming out, and that is Pam and Tommy, coming out tomorrow. Actually, a new limited series brought to us by Craig Gillespie, the director of I, Tanya and Cruella, and other projects as well, but those are two maybe the more popular ones that people know him from. 8 episodes. We got What Happened with This Sex Tape back in 1995, famously, if you all know, Pamela Anderson and Tommy Jones, or Tommy Lee there. I said Tommy Jones, Tommy Lee, in that whole controversy. And also you see the guy right here, whoop, whoop, Seth Rogen, playing the guy that took the tape of the intimate moment that Pam and Tommy were sharing on their honeymoon. So I have seen the first 3 episodes. I have reviewed the first 3 episodes on the channel. I put out that review today, actually. So check that out so you guys can get my spoiler-free thoughts on the first 3 episodes. But yeah, man, this is it's an interesting show because, first and foremost, let me pull up that picture again. That isn't Pamela Anderson. That isn't, Tommy Lee. That's Sebastian Stan and Lily James looking their doppelgangers there. What a great job from the makeup department, and even better job from the actors, because they portray these characters to the T. Like I remember, growing up, Pam Anderson was I was talking about Gal Gadot earlier. You talk about heart melting crushes. She was the bee's knees back in the day, right? And Tommy Lee and Motley Crue, they were at the heyday, but then they got married and something got out, and the show tackles the controversy. Why did Seth Rogen take the tape? What happened with their careers after the tape came out? Did it help their careers? Did it destroy their careers? Did it destroy their marriage? So it's a fascinating show so far. It didn't like wow me the first 3 episodes, but it intrigued me. Lily James is coming for that Emmy. She's really great. Sebastian Stan's great. Nick Offerman's in the show. He's great. Again, Seth Rogen does a great job, and it's a really good show. Again, from the director of I, Tanya, it kind of has that I, Tanya type of vibe where it doesn't take itself too seriously, but at the same time, it's a serious subject. Someone's intimate moments being out there and how that can affect their marriage and their career is very interesting. So I've reviewed the first 3 episodes. Like I said, they're on the channel right now, and the first 3 episodes will be premiering on Hulu, I think probably tonight at 11. I think a lot of Hulu stuff drops at 11, but if not, if you don't have time, if you don't want to stay up, it'll be available tomorrow on Hulu. So really interesting show. And again, check out my review for it to get kind of my full thoughts on the first 3 episodes. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We talked Hulu. What's coming out on Hulu this month, the big ones that kind of caught my eye. We talked about what's coming out on HBO Max, Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, Netflix. And of course, we talked about the stuff that's coming to the big screen. So that was fun. I had a good time. I hope you all had a good time too. Like I said, what we can do now, maybe for another 10 minutes or so, if you guys have any questions or, want to talk movies, TV show, want to talk about I don't know, anything, go ahead and leave your comments in the chat and we'll address those. But let me catch up to the comments here. And then while you guys, like I said, if you want to do like a little Q&A, by all means, we can do that for another 10 minutes or so. Let me see. Justice says, I was curious how Umbrella Academy will handle Elliot Page transition. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. They obviously alluded to her relationship with that female. I can't think of the character's name. So they kind of touched on it in season 2. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to kind of see how they handle it. It's a sci-fi show, so I mean they can figure it out. But again, shout out to Elliot, formerly known as Ellen Page. Shout out to him making that, being who he wants to be. I love that, and it'll be really interesting to see how they weave that into the narrative, because that character was very fascinating. It's been so long. I love the show. I love the show. I can't think of the character. Violet, I think was Elliot's character's name. So I would imagine, Violet might, he might change that character's name too. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I can't wait for season 3. But yeah. Yeah, it's insane and it's amazing all at the same time. I can't wait. Euphoria, where we get to all hang out. Yeah, Euphoria is something else. It's something else. Will you review 30 Coin season 2? Hold on, Cassandra. I didn't know that they announced season 2 yet. And I would imagine there was gonna be a season 2, but I didn't hear anything about it. So what? When did okay, I don't know if so it's been because previously it was unclear estimated. Okay, so they don't know. They're saying fourth quarter. Okay, so it hasn't come out. It hasn't been officially announced. I don't think, Cassandra. If so, you're giving me news right here because I'm looking at it online now, and there's really nothing that's saying that they have like a definitive date. Like the last thing I see here was back in September that they were talking about teasing a season 2. But if there is a season 2, even though I wasn't a fan like the last half of that show, the first half was fantastic. And you remember I used to review the first season back, early 2020. It was a great first half. The second half to me just kind of lost its momentum. But yeah, when it comes back, oh yeah, I'll be covering that. I understand lived through the scandal. Oh, the Pam and Tommy thing. Gotcha. I mean, I was a kid when that happened. I didn't know all the details of it, so it's interesting so far. I can't wait to see their love story. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Talk about Euphoria. There's some toxicity going on with those two. By the way, what was the reason why the directors got fired? I think it was just from what I remember, Tony, just like what is it? What's the Hollywood term? Creative differences. The director probably didn't, they probably want to do, some stuff that he didn't vibe with, and it's probably worked out for the better, So for that director, they probably, did something else with their career, So sometimes that happens. I feel like Umbrella Academy is so exclusive and so accepting. I feel like the show do too. Yeah, I think so for sure. Which, by the way, the writer and director, or the writer of that show, Jeremy Slater, I think his name is, who's also the writer for Moon Knight. He got announced for something the other day. I can't remember. It's in my mind, but yeah, he got announced for something. Disagreement over the script. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a book about a reporter uncovering the corruption in Tokyo, which that's me, Michael. Oh, okay. Dustin Crittenden. Oh, okay, Justin. I didn't know about that. I have to look into it. I appreciate the recommendation, man. And also, Elliot's character is okay. So, yep. Thank you. I'm also hyped for the icon of the show from the weekend. So I'm also excited about the icon on the show from the weekend. Okay, I'm not too familiar with. Oh, yes, yeah, I remember that. Is that Apple TV? Sam Levinston. Yeah, I remember seeing an article about that. The weekend. I think that's an Apple TV Plus show, but I don't think that's coming out this year, if I'm not mistaken. They just announced it. Yeah, I can't find anything about it. But yeah, I remember seeing an article about that. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I like Sam Levinston. He's dope. It tends to happen with movies created all the time, right? Thank you, Tony. Yeah, it was Mortal Kombat. Yep. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you got any other questions, comments, concerns, this went on a lot longer than I anticipated. I was gonna be like, probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes tops, but we're looking at an hour and a half, which no surprise here because you guys are all incredible. I love the questions. I love the community we're building, which by the way, subscribe to the channel. we're almost to 20. It's crazy to say out loud. We're almost hitting that 20,000 subscribers mark, which is to me is a milestone, a feat that I could never imagine when I started this channel. Um, Man, it'll be what, 5 years this September, which is even crazier to say out loud. So yeah, we're almost knocking on that 20,000 subscribers door, which is something that I'm really proud of, man. It's so many great content creators on this platform. Some that I've been able to collab with, some that I've been able to bring on this on my channel to engage with the audience here, and it's been so appreciative of building those friendships, and obviously some other people I look up to that I would love to collab with in the future. But yeah, 20,000 subscribers, man. If we can hit that milestone by the end of the month, that'd be fantastic. But whenever it happens, man, I'm gonna be so appreciative, and I can't wait to see where this channel goes this year. I'm going to try to really continue to grow this channel and bring some new stuff to the platform. More of these streams, more of the discussions that we have such a good time of doing, covering more shows and movies for you all, and really taking off, man. I really appreciate all the support you guys bring to the community, all the fun, all the great comments, all the support you guys bring to the channel. It means a lot to me, man. So yeah. Don't want to get too sentimental and all, but I really appreciate you all. So I think we're gonna call it night. Let me get to these last little comments here. Are you watching Abbott Elementary? No, I'm not, but I hear it's really good. I don't have I want to say I don't have ABC. I don't have like cable or anything, but I have like an antenna, so I can probably watch it. Is it on Hulu or something after it premieres? Because it's ABC or NBC. So what is that? Peacock or something like that. So I got to figure it out because I hear it's a great show. I've heard nothing but great things about it. We know you love talking to you. Oh yeah, Rams, I appreciate you. You're one of the people that everyone, but you come top to mind when it comes to support and love and all that. So I really appreciate you, Rams. Mortal Kombat is getting a sequel. I'm so hyped. Yeah, give me a tournament and I'll be hyped. Give me a tournament. Get rid of Cole like immediately. Nothing against the actor. I think he's a really interesting actor, but I was not a Cole fan. Guess get that Johnny Cage announcement and just give me a damn tournament and I'll be hyped. Favorite early 2000s cartoon shows that you watch? Early 2000s. Ooh. Hey Arnold was early 2000s, right? I think so. Or that might have been 90s. I don't know. I'll just say Hey Arnold. That comes to mind. Yeah, I'll go with Hey Arnold. I'm pretty sure that was early 2000s. Matthew, thanks for doing this live, Elliot. I've been watching you for a while. You haven't been able to join a live stream, so I'm just glad I will talk to you in the community also. Hey, thank you, Matthew. And yeah, man, you're one of the people that make it awesome as well, man. I appreciate you stopping by tonight. Hit me up on IG or Twitter if you have any of those platforms, or my emails on this website on the tab, the About tab. Hit me up with that screenplay, that murder mystery meet Succession. Yes, Matthew. Yeah, man. Keep cracking away on that script and let me know when you got it ready. I would love to read it, man. All right, Tony, have a good one. Appreciate you. Anyone Halo? I don't have Paramount Plus. That Halo trailer look legit. I'm not an Xbox guy. I'm more of a Sony guy. But when I did have an Xbox for a very short window of time, Halo was the first game I bought. That and Gears of War. So it looks good. It looks good. Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out. I've heard it is fantastic. I've seen some like clips on like Twitter, and I was just dying off of like a 10-second clip. So yeah, I'm gonna have to, it's like the Office style, right? Yeah, it's on Hulu. Okay, super funny. Okay, yeah. I check it out. Yeah, so that's the easy answer, right? But we'll see. I think they're gonna have someone that we probably couldn't even think of instead of giving the season award. I gotta watch Warrior. I heard it's great. Thanks, Alaki. Okay, for sure. All right. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna leave it off on that note. For everyone that stopped by tonight, all the regulars, the Rims of the world, Tony Movie Chappies of the world, Cassandra's of the world, Matthews of the world, Justin's of the world, all the people that I've seen a lot in the chat. D Movie Man, seen a lot in the comments, and I appreciate you all. We got Nathan in the building. I appreciate you all. You guys are awesome. Hope you're staying safe. Apparently, we're gonna get in a snowstorm here in St. Louis. So yeah, your boy's gonna be at home for the next couple of days watching some of those movies and shows that we talked about tonight. So I appreciate you. Before you leave, make sure if you haven't, hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Share the video, leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you're watching this on the replay, I appreciate you. And of course, hit that subscribe button, man. We talk a lot of movies. We talk a lot of shows. We do a lot of these live streams talking about those movies and shows. So definitely subscribe to the channel. We're almost hitting that 20K. So we're almost there. But again, I appreciate you all. Hope you had a good time tonight. I surely did. I'm about to get some food in this stomach and watch some shows. So I'll see you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You all stay safe out there. And I'll catch you guys on the next one, which will probably be Euphoria on Sunday. All right.